Hello and welcome to my concluding part of my 50th book Synopsis, Built to Last, Successful Habits of Visionary Companies. In the last episode, or last part, we discussed about couple of things. One is the list of those companies, how does that list was arrived. Number two was what was the research they had done, including that 20 MB wala story, funny one. The third is how did they arrive at those numbers, and finally we saw the list of those 18 companies, and today while beginning we saw that list again. Now let's look at what are the characteristics of these successful visionary companies. There are some 10-12, I'll talk about few of them. First, obviously, is about clock building and not time telling. Very important concept. I am from a commerce background, and during my college days, I remember we being taught a concept of organizations as a going concern. Now it means that it will be in existence perpetually. That is the assumption. Now look around you and see how many leaders you see who place organizations before them. Similarly, a corollary of that, how many times have we seen that a charismatic leader takes the organizations to a greater heights, and once that leader leaves, organization just falls. The point here which the author is trying to say is that you need a leader who will build a clock so that everybody can see the time, and not the one who will merely tell the time, and so the utility will remain only till such time he or she is there. A very, very important concept. To be very frank, in my corporate life, I have tried to make myself dispensable. Not maybe in initial stages, after when I reached the senior management level. Because if we understand one thing, that we are definitely not indispensable. People think that they are indispensable, but kuch farak padta nahi hai. PMs get changed overnight, who are we? Those who are supposed to run the country. Therefore, we should remember that how do we build an organization which can sustain and run by itself? Author says that it's perfectly fine if you do not have a charismatic leader till such time he or she builds a clock and not only tells the time. Second point is, the second chapter name is Tyranny of the Or, into bracket, embrace the genius of and. If you have seen or and are in capital, what he's trying to say is, why can't visionary companies, or rather visionary companies, always look at both the options as possible? They don't look at ye hoga ya wo hoga. So the example which the author has given from real life is of a company whose motto is purpose beyond profit, at the same time pragmatic pursuit of profit. Third chapter, more than profits. A very clear objective, but I would like to read what authors have said, because that's what I found interesting. They say that profitability is a condition for existence and means to more important ends, but not an end in itself. For many visionary companies, profit is like oxygen, food, water and blood for the body. They are not the point of life, but without them there is no life. I think it sums up the chapter. In this chapter, author also introduces the concept of core ideology, which he says that it is a combination of core purpose, core values and purpose, combine of that. The next chapter is again interesting, which is called as BHAG. Some of you would have heard about this. It stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals. The name itself suggests that something big has to happen. Let us see two examples. Example number 1, Boeing. Boeing decided that it will spend 3 times its average profit of last 5 years into creating a prototype for a commercial jet. Well, they could have sat pretty peacefully because they had lots of orders of fighter planes from Air Force of US, but they did not. And what we got is a commercial jet in the world. They did it for their first project, which was called as 707, and then we have seen the series 727, 747, etc. The next example is of Ford. In the early 2000, or precisely in 1907, it was clear that the 4-wheelers were meant only for uber rich people. In 1907, Henry Ford said that I would like to make a car in such a way that anybody who has a decent salary should be able to afford it and without compromising the quality. That was a BHAG. If we compare it with, say, Indian context, Indian government's decision to send or we can say that Indian government decision of Mangalyaan was a BHAG, which was a very big decision and near to impossible probably was thought of that point. So authors say that every organization or visionary organization must create a BHAG. Sometimes a BHAG can go into multiple generations as well. Once one BHAG is over, it should create a fresh BHAG. Otherwise, the organization will not be able to sustain that. Gives again live example. Same case of Ford. Once they achieved the above stated objective, they went into a complacency, and for some time, General Motors took over them. Therefore, author says that a BHAG should be a clear and compelling, that it requires little or no explanation. BHAG is a goal, like a climbing a mountain. It's not merely a statement, which is very important, and I like that. Problem with me is that I like this book so much that I can keep on going, but I will quickly now sum up remaining 2-3 or only 2-3 more, and then I will stop. Next one is cult-like culture. Authors say that many visionary organizations have a cult-like culture. Cult is typically seen in a negative way, but he says that helps them to grow. At the same time, he says that if you feel that you do not fit that culture, quickly move out. Nothing wrong in you or organization. Next is try a lot of stuff and keep that works. Classic example of 3M. It started as a mining company, and today we see Post-it, which is manufactured by 3M. Last is homegrown management. Authors have given us stats that from 1808 to 1992, out of these 18 companies, only 2 companies had hired outside CEOs. That's the importance of homegrown management as well. I think that's all. Now, before I start, there are a couple of points from my side. One is that this book was published in 1995, so obviously it needs a revision. So somebody probably, I believe that such books should be reviewed at least once in a quarter, so that fresh data can become. Let us take a case. In this book, there is one name called as General Electric. That name may not appear today. Second is, this book primarily talks about US companies. So it may happen that an organization of like Ford may get replaced by Toyota. We do not know. I'm just giving some names. At the end of the book, after the book is over, all chapters are over, authors have given FAQ, and they are very candid in some of the discussions as well in that. So that also helps to understand more about how they went about this process. And in that also they talk about this, that we have taken only US companies. So obviously they admit that. that's all from my side. All in all, irrespective of these minor limitations of this book, those could not be called as limitations at that point of time. Today in 2022 we may feel it that way. Beyond, in spite of that, I strongly believe that this is a book which each and every individual human being who is working in a corporate life must read. Reason, we get to learn a lot of things. I understand that many times we may not be able to implement everything because certain things are beyond our capability and beyond our possibility at that point of time. But we should definitely know and we can implement it at some point of time. I think that's all from my side. I will be posting this on my Facebook page, Books from My Eyes, on my LinkedIn page, as well as on my YouTube channel, which is of my name itself. Thank you so much. And I am recording this on November 10th, 2022. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.